Hey guys, Kevin answering for Big Brother 17, episodes 21 to 22. Now, I know usually I do this on Thursdays, but because tomorrow night's episode is a double eviction, I figured that I would do Sunday and Wednesdays now, because if I do it tomorrow, my review's gonna be like 40 minutes long. I know you guys don't want to watch a 40-minute review. I know you guys don't want that, so I'm going to try to cover Sunday and Wednesday's episodes as best as I can. I'm going to talk about everything that's happened this week so far, what I think is going to end the double eviction tomorrow night, and yeah, so let's just start off with, so much has happened this week. This is probably one of the most productive weeks in Big Brother in a while. I'm very happy with what they're doing. This is one of the reasons why I love the cast so much, because everyone's so afraid of making these huge moves. It's kind of seemed like for like the past 2 seasons, people have been afraid, even scared of making these big moves and putting people on the block that should be on the block, and letting them get their chance at uh, winning powers of vetoes and things like that. And I like that finally we're getting that. But let's just go to the fight first, because I had no idea about this. I didn't look at anything about this, and I only found out about this actually after doing my review for last week. Then I found out all about this fight. What a crazy fight this was. It seems like this came out of nowhere, really. Basically, Vanessa, being the paranoid person that she is, which it's just ridiculous. Like, I understand that Vanessa's really, paranoid about the game, and she doesn't, really see it as a game. She sees it a lot more as numbers. She just thinks way too hard. Like, you're overthinking everything. People compare her to Audrey. I completely see that. She's overthinking things way too much. The fact that she thinks that just the fact that she thinks that Johnny Mac and Clay were gay lovers or brothers was ridiculous. Of course she doesn't know about the deal. Now, some people were a bit confused on what was going on with Johnny Mac and Clay, how Johnny Mac thought Clay was loyal to him. If you guys remember, in week 2, well, Johnny Mac hasn't been very productive in the game. That's just because people haven't really talked to him as much. He really hasn't gotten a chance to be that vocal, so he has still thought that that deal that him, Clay, and Shelli made back in, like, week 2 is still going on. That is why Johnny Mac is stuck by Clay so much. That's pretty much what's going on there. But the whole fight was just crazy, because Vanessa first asked James, do you have my back? Just asking him that, and she just, she flips off the hook. She starts going after Clay, and Clay and James almost got into a fist fight. That was pretty crazy, honestly. I thought Clay was going to be, kicked out or something when that happened, but obviously Clay left, so that didn't happen. But honestly, imagine what would have happened if they actually started a fight. Not only would both of them be gone from the house, there probably would be no eviction this week at all, because we'd be down to, 6 people. I think there's only 9 or 8 people left, so if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't know, I don't keep track of how many, but you know what I mean. But basically, they both be gone, and it's just crazy that all happened because of this one fight. And it was interesting seeing Clay in the diary room. I don't think we've seen that before. We've seen well, we have before, but it's very rare to see an evicted house guest in the diary room after they've been evicted. But this, of course, was hours before, so this is probably pre-recorded. And just the fact that this all happened before eviction really does make sense why Clay was evicted. Clay really made himself a target doing that. Clay really flew off the handle, and I think they just thought that because Clay and James, almost got into a fist fight, and they were, this close to punching each other, they had to get him out. And honestly, I understand that. I was trying to figure that out, but I like that they did that, because the question going through all our heads is, why not Shelli? Why Clay? That made perfect sense why get rid of Clay. I'm pretty sure they were thinking of getting rid of Shelli, but I think they just figured, you know what? Even if I probably would have done the same thing, I would have been like, you know what, guys, we probably should have gotten rid of Clay, because he has a really big ego, and I'm glad that they figured that, Clay was the best thing to get out. So, back to the HOH competition. I hate these competitions. I've talked about it before. I hate the ones where they have to, hold something. It's just really, really annoying. Everyone's, slipping and sliding. But the final 3, the top 3 are Becky, which I was shocked that Becky was doing so well. Honestly, I was completely shocked that, I was for sure that, Shelli or someone would get it. I was very worried on who would get it, but Becky ended up getting HOH, and I was very happy for her, because people have said that Becky, you know, is just a floater and she's really silly. Remember I told you guys got into that Twitter fight with, like, Evil Dick and a bunch of people a week ago? Well, that was because I'm trying to say that Becky has potential. Hello! Look at this week. Becky obviously has potential to do a lot more in the game. Like, the only reason Becky didn't do a lot in week 2 when she was HOH is because that was the Battle of the Block. That's why she didn't have a lot to do, and she decided to work with Shelli, and if they had not worked together, they probably would have made a bigger move. That was the biggest mistake. That's why Battle of the Block didn't work this year, and I've said before, it's nice to see Battle of the Block gone. But what I love about Becky is that she is not the type of house guest that's just going to sit around and make a small move. She's not going to be the kind of person that just gets rid of Jason for no reason. She's not going to do that. It seemed like her target was going to be Shelli. I was thinking she was going to target Shelli, and that was going to be her target, but that's not what she wants to do. What she wants to do, I think, is one of the most daring things we've seen in a while, because as I said, people just don't want to make big moves. I will give you guys examples of past 2 seasons. Big Brother 15, when Amanda and McCrae ran the house, no one did anything. They just let them run it, and no one tried to get rid of them. Nobody. It didn't seem like they wanted to. It seemed like they were kind of scared. And then Big Brother 16 with Derek, that's why it became so boring, because Derek was running the show. And then there was also Frankie, people that needed to be put up and weren't put up till the end. So I love that Becky's thinking, you know what, Vanessa's running the show. We're not going to do that. That's not, you know, she decides to not go with their side of the house. And I was happy that Becky was like, I'm not going with people that aren't going to have my back, because I thought Becky was going to be an idiot. I mean, last week when she was going to Clay and Shelli, I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you going to them? They're not going to have your back. I knew they weren't. And seeing Becky be like, you know what, I don't want to go with them. I want to go with the majority of the house, because let's face it, Meg, Jackie, and James are basically the majority of the house. Well, there is Austin the twins, but they're kind of in their own thing right now. So she goes with Meg, Jackie, James, and she's also using a side deal with Johnny Mac, which not a lot of people know about, and I like that they're being very secret about this, because Johnny Mac at this point really has no one. He's kind of on his own, and I like the way Johnny Mac is playing. He's really playing in this dumb way where people don't think he's, you know, as smart as he is, and he doesn't really know what's going on. I like that secretly he does know what's going on. I will say that I'm not really a fan of him and Steve's partnership. I hope this isn't a real thing, because Steve is getting on my nerves, and I'm going to get into that. But I like seeing Becky, you know, make some big moves and want to do that, which I'll get into. Shelli, meanwhile, being a crybaby, crying over Clay. Oh my god, he didn't die. I gotta say, probably the funniest thing all week was Julia and Liz's pep talk to Shelli. I mean, was that a pep talk or just a warning? Because the whole pep talk is just Clay is gonna see other girls, and they're gonna want to be with him, and that Shelli has no chance with him. It was hilarious. It honestly is like, you have no chance with him, you might as well not be with him. It was less of a pep talk and more of giving her a reality check, which I thought was hilarious, and that was by far one of the highlights of the week for me. I mean, just the fact that they didn't even try to make her feel better, I thought it was really funny. I definitely really love that. Just because of the fact that I don't like Shelli, I just thought that was definitely very funny. So that was something I really enjoyed. But basically, Shelli's alone now, and she kind of wants... I thought it was also really funny when Meg was like... she was crying, and Meg was going to her, but Meg's like, this is really annoying. I thought that was really funny. Because, yeah, it is annoying. I mean, she's crying over a guy that she's known for 5 weeks, and... it's, like, it's stupid, honestly. I'm glad that Clay's gone, because Clay and Shelli, I couldn't take them anymore. I really couldn't. So... basically, as I said, Becky decides to stick with James, Jackie, and Meg, as well as Johnny Mac, and makes this awesome plan, which I think is genius. I love that she made her nominations just right then and there. She said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put up Shelli and Steve, but our real target is none other than Vanessa, which I thought was perfect to do, especially after the whole fight. It was basically all Vanessa's fault, so I'm happy that she did that, and... yeah, Vanessa's really calling all the shots right now, so I'm happy that Becky was like, you know what, let's just get Vanessa out, and that's basically their plan. They plan on getting rid of Vanessa, and I thought that was really smart of them to do. So Vanessa's their main target, and I love when Becky was just like, you know what, I deal with Black Friday shopping, I know how to deal with Vanessa. I thought that was definitely very funny, and I really like that. Now, She tells them not to say the V word and everything, but then she goes to Shelli and tells her about this. Now, why do I think she did this? This kind of reminded me of, I hate to compare, I'm sorry, I'm going to compare seasons because I like to compare things, that's just how I am. It reminded me of Alyssa from Big Brother 15, a player who didn't do a lot, and then she became HOH, tried to make one of the biggest moves ever, and it didn't work, obviously. But if you remember when she tried to get Amanda out in Big Brother 15, she tried to get Aaron, who she really did not like, in on her plan. Now, Becky and Shelli are not at all the same as Alyssa and Aaron, but that very much reminded me of what she was trying to do. You know, get everyone on board, make sure everybody wants this, and I thought that was really smart of her to do, because you don't want to make a move that's gonna make people come after you. You don't want to do that. And yeah, I know James is fine with that, but the thing is, truthfully, I don't think anyone's really after James except for Shelli. That's really the only person. So at this point, I thought it was smart that she did that, because at first I was thinking, what are you doing? But then I thought, you know what, if she really wants this to work out, she needs to know that every house guest, except for Vanessa, know what's going on. I don't think she told Austin and the twins. I'm not sure. It didn't seem like she did. She might have, but we didn't see it. But she does tell Shelli, and I thought that was smart to do, because that way when Shelli went up, she wouldn't think that she was leaving. But of course, Shelli being Shelli thinks that she is a target, which is so stupid. I mean, Becky's telling you you're not, and whatever. I'll tell you what's really creeping me out is Steve's edits. I'm trying to read Steve, and yeah, I know that people have said, oh, they're not editing him, that's how he actually is. It's creeping me out, okay? I'm getting, like, a real, like, serial killer vibe. He's not like that or anything, but, like, the music they're using, it's very, very strange. I mean, he even said that he's weird, but, like, why are you on Big Brother if you're just gonna hang around and talk to yourself? Like, why are you here? It's just weird. I don't think I've ever seen a player weirder than Steve. Even Ian in Big Brother 14 was weird at first, but then really started to come out when jury happened. That's when he really started to make big moves, and I thought Steve was gonna do something similar. No, he's lying really, really low, and I just don't think it's the best strategy, because they tend to, on double evictions, get rid of players that could do a lot, and I honestly feel, because of double eviction tomorrow night, I feel Steve's going to be a target. I honestly do. If Steve does not get HOH or POV, I really do see Steve going home tomorrow. I mean, going to jury. I'm serious about that. I really do see that happening, so we'll have to see. I also forgot to say last week, guys, the people that are evicted for the next 4 weeks, they could possibly come back into the house, so, you know, we'll see what happens with that, but, basically, they plan to get rid of Vanessa, and, I love what Becky does with Vanessa. I mean, this was just awesome. Vanessa goes right to Becky, and she's trying to make a deal, and Becky's like, no, 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 I don't want to make deals with you. No, I'm done with deals. I'm done with this, and I thought that was really smart of her, because someone offers you a deal, that's just saying, yeah, you have this deal for, you know, the thing about deals is that when you make a deal when you're trying to get rid of someone, or they're your target, or there's someone you don't particularly like, they're only trying to get you to make a deal with them just so you won't target them, and I like that Becky knew that. You know, she knew that Vanessa is not going to stick by her, she's going to turn her back on her. I mean, how many people has Vanessa turned her back on? Austin, the twins, she turned her back on so many people. Honestly, there's a long laundry list of people she probably turned her back on at one point or another. Jackie as well. She definitely, you know, they had a thing, and then that didn't work out, obviously, when she went after Jason. I mean, just, it did not go well at all, and I thought that was really smart of Becky to say, you know what, I don't want to deal. And obviously Vanessa's saying that she's stupid, but in reality, she's the target. And basically Becky goes through with putting up Steve and Shelli. And I was fine with this. What I don't like is Steve saying that Becky is this mastermind and that he's a mastermind. Steve, she's just trying to give you good advice, honestly. Like, I don't think Steve realizes that all Becky was doing, to me, it just seemed like she was trying to give him some friendly advice, because he hasn't done anything, he should win some comps. I mean, the only comp he's win is a POV in, like, the first week. That was really it, and that was because he was really good with Technotron, with Trombonus. That's really it. So, I don't see, why I mean, I have heard that Becky has maybe talked shit about him on the live feeds, but people, like, talk shit about each other all the time. Like, I heard that's a thing on the live feeds. I don't think Steve should be too worried about that. The fact that he's allying with Vanessa, I don't think is a good thing at all, honestly. His two closest allies are Johnny Mac and Vanessa. Johnny Mac, I'm cool with him sticking by, because Johnny Mac, I think, will help him in the end, but Vanessa just is not someone to stick by. She's, gonna get paranoid. You can tell that Steve is getting paranoid, and if he had to choose between Johnny Mac or Vanessa, I'm pretty sure he'd choose probably Vanessa, because he's starting to act like Vanessa, and that's really concerning me. I really hope that doesn't continue. It's not that I don't like Steve, I just can't figure him out. I can't. He's a weird house guest, and I don't know. I mean, there's always that weird one. There always is, and this year it's Steve. So, yeah, Steve's a really strange house guest. I'm trying to read him, and it's just not working. So, that's basically everything that happened on Sunday. Let's get into tonight's episode. A lot happened. We'll get into it. Of course, Becky's plan is to go after Vanessa, but Shelli's convinced that even though Becky said that she's, going after Vanessa, that she might still be a target. I like that Becky and Shelli did have a conversation about this, but even after that, Shelli is paranoid. I'm just like, Shelli is a complete idiot. Like, does she not understand that Becky's telling the complete... I understand that she thought that maybe she'd come after her, but why would Becky come after her? Shelli hasn't done anything to her. It's all been Vanessa. Vanessa was the one who, put her up. Vanessa was the one who kept her up with Jason. And people thought that Becky was going to leave. Like, everyone was thinking that's what was going to happen to her. So she has every right to go after Vanessa. And that's part of the episode where Vanessa is trying to tell Becky why she should keep her. It's just ridiculous because, she's all like, oh, well, you owe me all this stuff, and Becky owes her nothing because it's all Vanessa's fault. That's why she's going up. If Vanessa wasn't as paranoid, because I will say, I kind of liked Vanessa in the first half of the season. I did. I saw some Derek vibes. I saw some, and I do like Derek. It's just the season got boring because of him constantly controlling and no one else doing anything. But with Vanessa, I think the thing is that she's just way too paranoid. She's way too emotional as well. And she needs to realize that it's just a game. I understand that, like, big moves happen, but it's just a game, okay? You're going to the jury house. You get to decide who's going to vote. Suck it up. You have a chance to come back into the house. Suck it up and move on. Seriously, just suck it up. It's that simple. Johnny Mac, I love seeing him overjoyed that this is going on because it's hilarious to watch. And the scene with Steve, I found it very funny that even though Steve hates Becky, he's like, go after her. You can tell that Johnny Mac has a crush on Becky, and I kind of like it. I honestly kind of like it. I'd like to see Johnny Mac maybe get closer to Becky. I mean, Becky, I don't know if she reciprocates the feelings, but I honestly feel that they could have something, and maybe it'll be like the Nicole and Hayden situation where you didn't think nothing was gonna happen between them, and it did. I mean, that Nicole and Hayden are probably one of the most surprising Big Brother couples of all time. They're still going strong right now. If you don't believe me, go on, like, Nicole's Twitter. I follow her on Twitter, and she, like, they're still together, so this could definitely end up, like, with Johnny Mac and Becky. I can honestly see that happening. I know you guys may think that's stupid, but honestly, whoever thought Nicole and Hayden would work? So maybe Johnny Mac and Becky could work. I don't know. We'll see. Austin and Liz, it's really funny to watch at this point. At this point, I kind of like it. I will say that I like that every time, what I love about this is every time that Liz and Austin are together, Julia's just grossed out. It's hilarious to watch, and is it still disgusting? Yes, I'm still not a fan of it. I still find it pretty, I still don't find it very interesting. I still find it pretty disgusting if you ask me, and I still don't think it's going to work out at all. It doesn't seem real. And even though Liz is saying she's starting to develop feelings for Austin, I'm calling bullshit on that. People lie in the diary room, and I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that Liz is getting feelings for Austin. I think she's getting maybe sort of attracted to him and maybe liking him, liking her, but I don't think she actually likes him. It just doesn't seem like it's possible. I don't know. I can't say much about that. Again, Steve in this episode, very strange, like him talking to himself every 5 seconds. The creepy music, it was just really cringeworthy, guys. I mean, really, really cringeworthy. Like, I don't think I've seen something more cringeworthy on Big Brother in a while. Well, there is the Austin thing, but Steve's edit is just so cringeworthy. The fact they have this, like, serial killer music behind what he says, It's like, Steve is not this evil mastermind. You do realize he's won one comp. I mean, the funniest thing in this episode is when Johnny Mac's like to him, Steve, no one's coming after you. You've won one comp. And it's true. I mean, he's done nothing. He's won one comp, and that's it. No one is after him, and I don't know why he thinks so many people are after him. It's ridiculous. I can't stand it. And it's gonna get him, like, it's gonna get him out. They're gonna get him out because he's gonna think they're after him, and it's just gonna piss him off. I mean, his whole pawns can go home. Yeah, it's true, but he thinks way too hard, just like Vanessa does. And it doesn't surprise me that they ally, because they're very similar, definitely. So, Jackie getting rid of her night costume was funny to watch. James's reaction, oh my god, it's hilarious to watch. Just seeing James, like, oogle over a woman and things like that, it's hilarious. I mean, when he saw Becky's cleavage in that photo of her in a bathing suit was really funny. I will admit Becky's hot, but James's reaction, it's just great stuff. It's really great, and it's always really funny to watch. So then the POV ceremony happens, and the POV competition, I mean, and Shelli's in this really tough position because she's thinking that if she gets house guest choice, she's going to put up, she's going to pick Vanessa because she knows that Vanessa will stick by her. But Becky, in the meantime, she doesn't want to go against Becky's plan. So Shelli definitely is in a tight position here. I will admit this was a pretty difficult decision. What do you do here, really? So she ultimately does decide to pick Vanessa, which I thought was really stupid of her to do, honestly. Like, Vanessa's not going to have her back. She's going to probably turn back on her eventually, because Vanessa seems like the kind of player that'll have your back for a while and then just get rid of you if your life is in danger. Like, if she had to choose between Shelli or her, she'd choose between herself in a heartbeat. That's how it is. And Shelli, I think, needs to stick with Becky and Johnny Mac, and then she's really good. I think with them, she can get way closer to where she wants to be. But if she sticks with Vanessa, then it's not going to work at all. Now, one of them is, we'll get into that, but basically, POV happens. People chosen were Vanessa, Steve, Austin, Meg, Becky, of course, and Shelli. So those were the people chosen. And I really love the comic book competition. It's always really fun to watch. I have to say, the funniest one by far, my favorite, was the blanket with Audrey. That was just so genius. The way they come up with these things, it's so great. I don't know how they do it, but it's just great, honestly. It makes me wonder if I were to go in the Big Brother house, what would mine be? I honestly don't know. Like, the way they make them, like, to their personalities is great. Mama Day, that one, of course, was great. I thought they were all really great. I always love the comic book competition. This one seemed like it went pretty smoothly, though, for pretty much everyone. I mean, these usually, it seems like it takes them a while, but I think the highest was like 21, which was really good. I was really surprised, actually. It really shows how smart this cast actually is. I knew it was going to be either Steve or Vanessa that won. Obviously, I already knew who won POV, but Steve wins POV, which I'm not surprised about. He obviously did a great job. I was a little surprised Vanessa didn't do a great job because it seemed like she would, and I think the pressure just got to her. So, basically, Vanessa is now freaking out because she knows that it's either going to be her or Johnny Mac that goes up. Because, Becky's saying that she's going to put up Johnny Mac, but Vanessa is obviously paranoid. She's freaking out. She still doesn't think this is going to go well. So she goes right to Becky, and she's trying to give her reasons on why she should not put her up, and it's just bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Like, everything you are saying is bullshit. She's not going to give you a deal. You've basically, there's no reason for her to trust you. You have not proven your trust. There's no way. Like, there's nothing for her to do, and honestly, I don't feel sorry for Vanessa at all. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel sorry for her. And there's that great scene where she comes in with Austin, Jackie, Meg, and James talking. And she's like, what are you all talking about? And they just stop because they know what's going on. And I'm assuming that Austin and the twins know at this point because it seemed like Austin is with them. So I'm assuming that's what's happening, and I like that. My only concern about this is that there might be too many people in this alliance. I mean, it's not an alliance yet. I know there is an alliance going on called After Dark, which they have not talked about in the show, but I know there's an alliance called that. And yes, that is a legit title. If you don't believe me, go to Rob Has a Podcast. They talked about it, so I think that's a real thing. They talked about it, so I'm assuming it's a real thing, but my only issue is that I hope there's not too many people in this alliance, because if Austin and the twins are there too, kind of a risky alliance, definitely. I don't think the whole house, minus Vanessa and Shelli should be in this alliance. I just don't think that's a good idea. So, Vanessa just goes completely crazy. She's pretty sure that she's not going to go up, and there's the moment where Becky decides to put her up, and basically Vanessa, she's crying hysterically, she's obviously freaking out, and I love what Johnny Mac says. There's going to be a lot of fighting, a lot of crying, and it's true. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of crying and a lot of fighting, because that's what Vanessa does. She cries, she starts fights. I mean, she can't control herself. It's that simple. She has to, Vanessa to me, it always seems like someone just waiting to explode. It always seems like that kind of person, and that's exactly what Vanessa is. So, she's kind of like this cannon, basically. She's just waiting to go off. I mean, like I said, Audrey was like that. Audrey was, calm and everything. Vanessa, I think, is going to go off. That's what Vanessa's going to do. She's going to go off. There's going to be a huge fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be, a huge fight, before the eviction tomorrow. So, tomorrow is the double eviction, and as I said, I honestly feel that Steve is a possible person to go home for the second eviction. I mean, go to jury. I keep forgetting that we're in jury. We're in jury now, guys. I mean, we're getting, this is the halfway point. It's pretty big that we're there, but Steve, honestly, I think is a potential candidate for jury, because he's thinking way too hard, and they tend to get rid of people that haven't really done a lot but could do a lot. So I really could see Steve doing that. Plus, double eviction, I mean, perfect week to do a double eviction. I can't think of a better week for them to do it than this week. What's going to happen in tomorrow night's double eviction is honestly beyond me. I have no idea what's going to happen, and I can't wait to see. Obviously, Vanessa's going home, because everyone knows that's going to happen. Shelli goes home, fine, whatever, but if Vanessa wins HOH, I'm done. I'm going to be really pissed off if that happens. It's not going to be Becky's fault. Now, there could be a tie. I believe there could be a tie. So if there is a tie, hopefully, I'm hoping, honestly, there is a tie so Becky can get Vanessa out, because that'd be great. Now, I'm trying to think of who can vote tomorrow. Let me just think of how many people can vote. Liz, Austin, Julia, Steve, Johnny Mac, Shelli, Meg, James. That's it. Those are the only people that, Shelli obviously can't vote, so, that's 7, so 7, yeah, there's not gonna be a tie, so, hopefully they all agree to get rid. The only person I don't think is gonna get rid of Vanessa, because he just doesn't want to, is, Steve, because obviously he's tight with Vanessa, and he hates Becky's guts, so there's that. Another person that I think could end up going home, if Shelli does not go home, if Shelli does not go to jury the first time, I think she is going to go the second time. I really do see that being a possibility. The only way Shelli's going to be able to not do that is to win HOH. If she doesn't win HOH tomorrow, then she's probably going to the jury. I really do see that happening. I mean, double evictions are usually very surprising, and I hope this is one of those double evictions that it's like a Big Brother, 13, 14, 15 eviction, and not like Big Brother 16, where it was, the most boring thing ever. Let's face it, Big Brother 16 evictions, not a fan of them, really. I'm not a fan of Big Brother 16 evictions in general, not a fan of Big Brother 16 double evictions, because we had Hayden leave, and then we had Christine leave, and they were both really boring. So, I hope something big happens, knowing this season, yeah, something big is gonna happen. Let's talk about Becky. Do I think Becky is safe? I mean, if Jackie, Meg, or James, or Johnny Mac win HOH, which if Johnny Mac won, that'd be incredible. I really feel like he's going to win on, a double eviction or something. But if they win, then I think Becky's going to be fine. If Shelli wins, I could really see her going after Becky. Steve wins, I mean, he's definitely going after Becky. He's talked about it before. Every word he's like, I'm going after Becky. It's really, really creepy stuff, guys, honestly. It's really creepy. But I really do see Shelli I really do see Shelli going after Becky. But if Shelli doesn't win or Steve doesn't win, I think Becky's going to be okay, honestly. I mean, most times I'd be worried for the HOH, but I think most people agree with Becky's decision, so I'm not concerned about Becky's safety in this game. I don't know if you guys are, but me personally, I think Becky's going to be okay for the most part. Same with Johnny Mac. Austin and the twins, a bit of a mystery. I don't know who they're going to pick. We haven't seen a lot of them in terms of strategy. Most of what we see in them is just Austin with Liz, and then Julie being like, ew, that's disgusting, which is really funny. So if they win, I don't know what they'll do. I don't see Austin or the Twins winning. You never know. But we'll see what happens with that. I can't wait for tomorrow's double eviction. It's going to be an amazing episode. Double evictions are always great. They're always awesome to watch. And especially in a great season like this one's been. When it's a really boring season, double evictions are really boring. But in a great season like this, it's going to be a really great double eviction. I really do see things going really great tomorrow. So that's basically this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought of these episodes. If you do enjoyed, who do you think is going to go, Vanessa or Shelli? Who's going to leave in the double eviction? I will see you guys for the double eviction tomorrow, but my next video will be for tonight's episode of Mr. Robot, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.